Hello, my name is Paul Young. I'm a master chocolatier and an ambassador for the Sick Children's Trust. And this May, the Big Chocolatier comes back to raise money and awareness for the charity. And I've got a brand new recipe for you. It's two of my all-time favourite chocolate cakes, desserts, biscuits. It's a chocolate brownie and chocolate crispy cakes with lots of crisped rice. We've all made chocolate crispy cakes, but what I've done is bring the two together. So this brownie recipe has chocolatey crispies, crunchy top, really gooey inside, and I think you will love it as much as me. And what I've done is started by melting some butter, and I've got unrefined light muscovado sugar, eggs, plain flour, lots of dark chocolates. Don't worry about the percentage. If you like 70%, 64, 66, whatever it is, use the chocolate that you love. A little bit of sea salt, lots of crisped rice, and everyone's favourite golden syrup. The golden syrup makes it really sticky and gooey. First thing is melt the butter and add in the sugar. All we're looking to do is to melt the two together on a lowish heat, just so that the sugar breaks down and you get a caramelly toffee texture. Add in the salt. Don't be afraid to put salt in desserts. This reduces the sugar level, the sweetness, and makes it taste even more chocolatey. And we're all fans of salted caramel and sea salted chocolate now, so just make sure it is sea salt or rock salt, but not table salt. Mix that in. Takes 2 seconds, and then we're going to add golden syrup. So let's go in with the syrup. Healthy amount of syrup. If you really don't want to use syrup, you could use honey, maple syrup or agave syrup. But the Big Chocolatier is not about cutting back on calories. It's about enjoying chocolate, enjoying cakes, celebrating chocolate. So don't be afraid to put it in. There we go. Take it off the heat, so it's just melted. It's now just all lovely, gooey, caramelly. Give it a good mix. And while it's warm, we're going to add the chocolate. It's really important not to put the chocolate into the pan while it's bubbling, because it will burn the chocolate and it will go really grainy and sandy, and it will not be a very nice texture. So chocolate goes in. And let that melt in. A good mix around. You want to make sure that if your chocolate isn't in little buttons like I've got, and it's a bar, that you chop it up really small so the chocolate melts really evenly. Otherwise you'll end up with big chunks of chocolate left in the mix before it's melted. So give that a good mix. I love this recipe, not just because it's quick, but it's done in a pan and a bowl. There's so little washing up. All the fun is in the making of the washing up and cleaning. So mix that in. And then we're going to add eggs. We don't even need to pre-whisk the eggs. They're going to go in whole, and I'm using medium free-range eggs. There we go. Eggs going in whole. And this time I've got a whisk just to get those incorporated in. And the mix will go really thick at this point and really glossy as the eggs start to cook. There we go. The texture changes a lot. That should be really gloopy. And you shouldn't see any bits of egg yolk or egg white through the mix. Whisk out. Spatula back in. Flour. There's not a lot of flour for the size of the recipe. This will make 15 generously sized brownies. But if you didn't want to use wheat flour, you could use any gluten or wheat-free flour. I've made it with spelt flour, I've made it with rice flour, I've made it with a blended gluten-free flour, and all work brilliantly. Mix that in. Now it's important you don't overbeat this. I'm folding the flour in just until I can see that there is no loose white flour left. But if you beat it too much, it will make the brownie very tough, because the gluten in the flour will work too much. And it goes really tough, and we don't want a tough brownie. So just check right to the bottom that there's no flour left, so we're just left with this lovely chocolatey batter, which is the base for your brownie. And then, in a big mixing bowl, we're going to tip all of the chocolate mix into the bowl. This is because we can't fit all the Rice Krispies into the bowl, into the pan, sorry, to mix them up. We're going to add all the Krispies into the brownie batter mix. In they go. Fold it through really carefully so it doesn't break the Krispies up, and then bake it so that you get this really crunchy top on your brownie, lovely light texture through the middle, and all that flavour of a chocolate crispy cake. So you can see it looks exactly like chocolate crispy cakes, but baked in. You could use cornflakes, you could actually use any cereal really. Particularly the little bright coloured ones, I'm not going to say the name. But there's a little cereal where they're all bright colours and little shapes, and you would get those through the brownie if you baked those in. So there's our mix. Now it looks like chocolate crispy cake mix. I've got my 12 by 8 inch baking tin and a sheet of baking paper. Press that in. You don't need to be too careful about putting this in because you're going to cut the edges off once it's baked. So let's tip this in. Making sure you don't get all of it out of the bowl, because there is a rule in my house that you leave a little bit of cake mix, whatever it is, in the bowl as your little chef's treat. But only if you're allowed to eat raw egg, of course. You have to be very careful sometimes, but the days of when I was young, baking from scratch with my grandma and my mum, we always left enough on the palette knife. Scraper for a little treat. Press this into the tin. You can be quite firm about this. Spread it out. And just so that the corners get filled, tap it on the bench. Quite firmly. That levels it out really well. Pop them in the oven at 170 degrees centigrade. If you have a fan oven, just turn the temperature down to 160 watt to 165, 30 to 35 minutes until they're really soft, baked. They'll be slightly springy, but in the middle it'll wobble ever so slightly. Don't overbake your brownie, it will look a little bit undercooked when it comes out. If you leave it in too long, you'll end up with a very big biscuit. Your brownies had 30-35 minutes in the oven. Take it out, let it cool completely. Leave it overnight if you need to. Pop it in the fridge. This just sets it up for about an hour. Cut it into squares, about 15, but depends how generous you are feeling. This is 14 pieces on our lovely little cake stand. And I've got my last piece here. And I've got hundreds and thousands. Very on trend in 2018, I have to say, and they will be ongoing. These are coloured balls, but you can use little coloured vermicelli, available in all supermarkets and online. And all we do to decorate is to cut the brownie and dip each side into the hundreds and thousands. They will naturally stick to the edge of the brownie. I have made these quarter of the size before, so they're little brownie bites, but it's never enough. Big brownie's the best. You see the top is really crunchy and you can see the Rice Krispies, so you've got that mix of crispy cake and brownie. Pop that on your stand. Pop it right at the top, make it really impressive. Eat them at room temperature and make sure you have a fantastic chocolate tea. Make the recipe. If you want to be really adventurous, add some different flavours to your brownies like orange zest, fruits and nuts, and even top it with chocolate fudge icing.